What's up, everyone? Welcome once again to the channel. This is your boy Louis. As you can see, I'm definitely not on my usual setup because today I am filming from the Manila airport. At the moment, I'm preparing to go to El Salvador for Miss Universe. So I'm really excited about this entire journey. And of course, I'll be taking you along with me on the ride. But yesterday, I went live on Instagram and I promised that I will present to you guys a list of early dark horses in the competition. And what I think is going to be really interesting is that I'll give you my initial list right now, and then when I get to El Salvador and get to see all of the girls in person, I'll be able to also give you more of a first impressions after meeting them in person. So for today's video, we're just going to be talking about those girls who maybe don't have the sash factor or maybe the level of support that some of the powerhouses countries have, but that still deserve the same level of support. You already know what to do. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and leave a like, a comment, and subscribe to the channel as well. And that's enough of me talking. Let's get right into it. The first lady that I wanted to highlight on the list is Bolivia. Bolivia is not necessarily what we consider to be a powerhouse in pageantry. However, they pretty much send pretty strong girls to international pageants. Now, I'm not just talking about Miss Universe. For example, I just came back from Miss International and Bolivia managed to place within the top 5. So that kind of says something about the level of training and consistency that they have within the country. Lots of potential to exploit in upcoming years. Maybe because this batch, particularly this batch this year at Miss Universe, they have so many strong contestants. I think that maybe a lot of people tend to overlook Bolivia because, of the sash factor. But do not sleep on her. This girl is beautiful, eloquent, has lots of purpose, and I cannot wait to see her at Miss Universe. Moving on, let's talk about Miss Poland. I actually included Poland in my very first Miss Universe leaderboard for this pageant season. I still think that she is absolutely beautiful. She is incredible. I love the styling. I love everything that I'm seeing about her on social media. I'm not going to lie, yes, some of the other girls from Europe have been standing out more recently. So I think that if she still has that fire in her to stand out, she pretty much just has to put herself in front of the camera at this point to catch the attention because she definitely has the X factor. Moving on to another lady that also made my initial top picks for Miss Universe, I'm talking about Miss Cameroon. I remember that one of the first comments that I made about her was that I love the versatility of this girl. I remember going through her social media initially and just seeing such variety of looks, not only in the styling, but also with the fashion, also with the type of context that she will give us for the competition, even the advocacy. So, when you get to see her social media, you pretty much get a global vision of who she is. I still believe that she has that X factor, but for some reason, I feel like the pageant fans have been overlooking her. Now that has she arrived at Miss Universe, I'm actually not sure if she's already in El Salvador, but if she is, she really has to find a way to connect with the people who are there covering the event. I mean, I'm on my way, so if you see me there, Miss Cameroon, come see me. But I think that she has to find a way to really capture the attention so that she's promoted online because the potential is there. Pretty much, she only needs the visibility at this point, right? Now let's talk about Miss Pakistan, another one of the girls who is currently being represented by Josh Yugen. This girl is so incredibly beautiful. In the very beginning, when she was crowned as Miss Universe Pakistan, I think that the news were kind of overshadowed by all the negativity that came on social media because, of course, Pakistan is not necessarily a pageant country or a country who supports pageantry. So I feel like she caught a lot of heat because of that. However, I think that this is going to play in her advantage because she's truly breaking the mold, going against the rules. And I think that, that really goes hand in hand with the Force for Good slogan of Miss Universe, where the entire transformational leader and just putting herself on the line basically for what she believes in, basically for the values that are close to her heart. She's also being managed by Josh Yugen, so I mean there are definitely a lot of advantages that come with that. So let's just wait and see how she performs. But I mean, she has the beauty, she has an incredible story, and I just hope that the fans can also see that and appreciate it as well. Now it's time to talk about Miss Trinidad and Tobago. If I learned a lesson last year, it is that you cannot underestimate Trinidad and Tobago. As they say themselves, they are a small country but mighty. And I think that this year's delegates actually is showcasing so much potential. I'm really excited with all of the videos that I've seen online so far in terms of interviews, in terms of walk, And I just think that, she's going to be an excellent representative for the country. Similar to, I mean, pretty much most of the girls on this list, I think that there hasn't been as much coverage. Maybe that's one of the reasons why a lot of the fans don't really talk about them, because it's hard for people who only stay in touch with the pageant through social media to really connect or develop a certain support for a candidate that they don't really see online. Therefore, they cannot really relate to her. So again, now that we are still in the initial days of the competition, it is time for her to step up her game, put herself out there. This is even an opportunity to get creative. Collaborations with people on social media, Instagram lives, whatever it takes to put your name out there, because the potential is there, the beauty is there, the purpose is there. Even I will say the sash factor is there for Trinidad and Tobago. So she has everything that it takes to maybe go back home with the crown. Now let's talk about a little bit more of a controversial one. Miss Universe Indonesia Fabiana. Since the very beginning when Fabian was crowned, of course, I feel like a lot of the good news and the rain was overshadowed by all of the scandals on social media, and understandably so. I think that the audience kind of sided with the victims, which was the right thing to do. But on a lighter note, I'm really happy to see that Fabienne really pushed with her project, with her plan to go to Miss Universe. I think that, she was also a victim of the circumstances as well. I don't really think that we can blame her for anything that happened at Miss Universe. And honestly, the fact that she was able to get through so much criticism, through so much backlash, and come out of that really strong and ready for an international competition, it is really commendable. We can also not neglect the amount of support that Indonesians put behind their delegates. So I think that if she's in the right mindset with the right strategy, Fabienne has really good chances. We also have to acknowledge that at the moment she doesn't necessarily has a national team or national director, so I'm not sure what her immediate support system looks like. So let's just be patient and wait for the best and see what comes out of this entire thing for Fabienne. By the way, if you're enjoying this episode so far, I'm quite literally filming at an airport, so go ahead and drop a like on this video. Moving on, let's talk about Miss Vietnam. Another one of the countries, I mean, I don't think that we can call yet Vietnam a powerhouse in pageantry. However, Vietnam is one of those countries that is putting everything behind their delegates. Similar to the example that I was just talking about, Miss Indonesia. Miss Vietnam, unfortunately, this year was trapped in a controversy that completely overshadowed the contestant and her victory, which I think that it's important to also celebrate it, right? Because of that, we haven't really heard as much about the Miss Vietnam representative for Miss Universe this year. That doesn't take away the fact that these girls prepare intensively. Just think about the Vietnam representatives of the at least past 3, 4, 5 years at Miss Universe. They always, always, always deliver quality. And I am pretty sure that this time around, it will be no exception. Maybe we didn't get as much hype and anticipation as we normally do on social media, but that doesn't take away from the opportunity and the possibility that she still can excel at the competition. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Now, let's talk about some of the girls that I think are getting heavily overlooked so far by a lot of the pageant fans. These are definitely not as sash factor countries, because some of the ones on the list have a good track record already before. But let's start by talking about Ukraine. I think that, initially when I was doing my topics and, whenever Miss Universe season starts, I like to also watch all the creators to kind of know where everyone stands in terms of who are we rooting for this year. I rarely saw Miss Ukraine in anyone's list, and I was really shocked because I think that in terms of beauty, oh my God, this woman stands out so much with her looks, her photo shoots, her social media presence is just immaculate. And one thing that people are overlooking is the power of the message that she is carrying this year. I mean, we all know about the political situation in Ukraine, everything that has been happening. So I believe that there will be a lot of support for her in that sense. At the same time, out of the blue, she was challenging some of the front runners, powerhouses, during the advocacy contest that they had. I mean, the advocacy challenge where they had to vote for the advocacy videos. I forget the name, so if you remember, let me know in the comment section down below. But for a while, she managed to overtake Miss Thailand as well as Miss Philippines. So that's definitely something that needs to be praised, because we know that Ukraine is not necessarily a pageant country or a country that supports extensively their delegates. So that already speaks a lot for itself. So what do you think about Miss Ukraine? Go ahead and let me know. Albania is another one of the countries that initially I heard a lot of talks about her. But the more that we got into Miss Universe season, the more that new girls were being crowned, I didn't get to hear about her as much because, of course, the attention at that point of the fans is being, shattered in 100 pieces to cover all of the delegates. But do yourself a favor, or just look at this photo that I'm gonna put here, but do yourself a favor, go check out her social media. This girl is really, 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 really stunning. At the same time, I remember her video of her national pageant. She was one of the incredible performers in terms of her walk, her presence on stage. It was just so incredible to watch. So I'm really excited to see how she's gonna bring. So I'm really excited to see how she's gonna bring all of that to the stage of Miss Universe. She had several months to prepare, so I'm expecting that is something that is even improved, even better. So let's just wait and see what comes out of that. But yes, this is definitely very, very promising as well. Now let's talk about Miss Russia, who I think that, I mean, for very obvious reasons right now with the conflict that is happening between Russia and Ukraine, a lot of people are not really paying much attention to Russian delegates in pageantry. And again, I understand this is politics. I don't even like to get into politics, but talking about the girl herself, she's definitely one of the most beautiful faces in the competition. So charming, so likable. When I look at her in whether it's list of topics or amongst other girls, I always feel like she stands out for the great reasons. I realistically don't know how far she can go in Miss Universe, especially this year with everything that is going on, because I mean it's a political statement. Pageants, whether we like it or not, they are political. So if Miss Universe was to crown a Russian delegate this year, for example, that would be a huge international scandal. I don't think that they will take that level of risk for the initial edition of JKN, with Miss Universe. So that will be kind of a stretch. But that doesn't take away from the beauty and the potential of this woman. So I still wanted to highlight it, right? I wanted to recognize it. Okay, and last but not least, the candidate that I wanted to put at my number one position of the biggest dark horse of the competition, at least before I arrive in El Salvador, before I get to see them in person, goes to Miss Lebanon. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be fully honest with you guys, okay? Just the other day, I released an episode with my early favorites, let's say predictions prior to Miss Universe, pre-arrival. And the moment that I posted that video, I realized I did not include Miss Lebanon. And that is such a huge crime because I think that she is standing out. She's so beautiful. I feel like she is the best shot that Lebanon has had at Miss Universe in years. I mean, they actually just returned to Miss Universe recently, but this time around, I don't just feel like they're doing well. I feel like they're doing excellent with this representative. She's beautiful, charismatic, eloquent, has a big purpose, and I feel like people are rallying behind her. I think that also, considering everything that is going on in the world right now, having women from Arabic descent is so important to, give them a platform, to be a spokesperson. I know that it's kind of a tough position to be in because, again, politics are rough and you don't necessarily want to put people on the spot. But I think that it will be a good way to kind of acknowledge, the value of women, of Arabic women, often tend to get overlooked in pageantry. So to be honest, she's one of the girls that I'm really excited to get to El Salvador, to meet her, to talk to her, hopefully to maybe interview her, why not? And of course, to make a lot of content for you guys, okay? So make sure that you go ahead and like this video, comment, subscribe, do all of the things that help boost this video. This lady don't let me finish my video, Lord Jesus. Go girl, do your thing. Anyways, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Thank you for watching. I will see you very soon live from El Salvador. Please go ahead and boost this video. Love you guys. See you on the next one.